Welcome to week 10, right here on the Grit and Grind, Daryl.
On the Grit, yep. That's
the
it.
witching hour, we're getting, as I told you, as we're in the October month, I can't say winching, it's winching, but they said say witching hour. It's the witching hour of football.
It's that time because it's crunch time.
It's crunch time.
Yeah.
Playoff push time.
Definitely playoff push time.
Before we get started, as any time, Daryl, we got to give some shout-outs.
Yeah, definitely got to get a shout. First, let's start with the cheerleaders.
Outstanding
job. Clayton Comets cheerleaders.
Thank you, Clayton.
Breaking us in this week. And also, we was in Clayton last week, we met or saw one of our old friends that had been following the Grit and Grind from day one.
A long time.
A long time. And that is Councilman Marlon Lee from Clayton. He's also the Clayton girls basketball team coach.
Hey, shout out to D.
And so he gave us a big shout out, and we was happy to see him here at the football game. So I want to give him a shout out. And also, Shawn, we got some helmets on the show.
New helmets on the show. We was able to reach out to some other teams and make some more partnerships right on the Grit and Grind. Tell who the first one came from.
Well, the first one comes from Vance County Vipers. Coach Elliott, you know, we appreciate you being a part of the show and watching the show and your kids watching the show and everything. And so he gave us a helmet to show up here, the Vipers, and we got them up here on the Grit and Grind, Shawn.
Vipers playing good football.
Definitely playing some good football.
Our next helmet, Daryl, they said you can't have a pirate hat.
Yeah.
You can't have Patchy the Parrot, who is live on Saturday. Patchy's hanging out with us today.
He's hanging out.
You can't have Patchy without having a helmet from a pirate. So we want to thank Coach Smith and the coach staff over there at Corinth Holders for providing us with a Pirates helmet for the Grit and Grind show. So we want to thank both coaches for donating the helmet to the Grit and Grind. Well, Daryl, so much happened last week. Some things happened that we didn't see coming.
Didn't see coming.
So we need to go ahead right now and jump into the Grit and Grind. Rewind. Daryl, Wilson Prep, Warren County. We said this was for the Tar Roanoke 1A championship.
This was the game.
Big game.
When you look at this game, both teams came in at the time, 6-1?
Yes.
Coming into this game.
Undefeated conference play.
Undefeated conference play. Coaching staff had both teams ready to play.
In Warren County.
And it was a big-time game in that area. And WPA took care of business. They went up there, played a good Warren County team.
I want to say that again.
Yeah, a good Warren County team. And it took everything they had to come out with a win, but WPA was able to get out with a win out of Warren County. And like you said, it was something that we talked about for a couple weeks about this game being that game, and WPA stepped up to the challenge.
And if you're WPA, Daryl, you don't want to sit here and say, now we won the title. Because right now they are in the lead as the outright conference champ. You got 2 more games this week and next week. Yeah. And anything can happen. So if you're Warren County, you like, we need to keep winning.
That's what I was going to say.
Because if WPA slips up one of these 2 games, you're right back in the
mix. So if you're Warren County, Coach Hunt, you want to get your guys ready to play this week coming up and finish strong in the next 2 games. And you see where everything falls, but you get ready also for playoffs.
If you're WPA, just stay focused.
That's it.
Daryl, we had another game down there at Five Stadium. This was one at our game of the week that
hurts my heart.
We was watching this one every minute of the night. Southern Nash taking their first loss to the Rocky Mount Griffons, who I said on this show.
You said it.
That Rocky Mount plays their best football. Coach Battle gets his best football week 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're seeing it.
And you're definitely seeing it. And like you said, Southern jumped out on early.
Very early.
And it was back and forth there in a minute as far as in that first 2 quarters.
Right.
It was but Rocky Mount just hung in there, just kept hanging in there.
And we said last week, about this Rocky Mount Griffons team. You know, don't want to compare them to the Bulldogs because we say about the Bulldogs all the time. But it's one of those teams, they got a lot of senior leadership. And if you let them hang around, things can go their way. Offense gets clicking. Defense start making you go 4 and out. And it's a different ball game.
It's a different ball game. And unfortunately, and for Rocky Mount, that's what they was able to do. That 3rd quarter coming out, getting 2 quick scores in that 3rd quarter.
That made the difference.
Set the tone, made the difference, tied it up in the 4th. It was already tied. Then you go into overtime, and Rocky Mount made the play.
And shout out to the former Grind Player of the Week, Isaiah Silver.
Yeah.
He took the team with the other running backs on his back and said, we want to get a win in Firebird Stadium because, as we said last week, this game counts towards the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship.
Yeah.
And if you Rocky Mountain, you just check the box
You check
to
the box.
keep your
You
career
keep it
going
going.
on in for that championship. Well, Daryl, we got one more game we got to look at. The one we was at, the Grit and Grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week last week was the Corinth Holder Pirates versus the undefeated Clayton Comets in Clayton. Very good game. Clayton just jumped out and started a game that it was hard to get back in.
It was definitely hard. You see Cornholing coming out and Clayton running out on the field. It was a big-time game, big atmosphere. Fan base was on for both teams was there.
Very big atmosphere.
It was a good game. But like you said, Clayton set the tone early, and they set that tone in the first quarter, and it started with their defense, pressuring the ball as far as not allowing Holder to get their offense started, and that defense just kept coming all night long. And it just led the way for Clayton on offense to get in the end zone and take care of business.
And if you're Corinth holders, you look at this game right here, it's one of those ones that you wish you could get back again. They tried to get. Because you're a good team.
Yeah.
But you're going to learn on this road now. First of all, you turn your program around and change the culture, making everybody walk the plank. But as you continue down this path, you're just going to run against a team on a Friday night that may just have your number that night.
Right.
And it seemed like Clayton came in more focused. And Corinth holders came in very focused. But Clayton was playing with the mindset of, we know this is a good team. And we know if we get behind, it's going to be hard to play catch up with these guys because they hold on to the ball.
That's it.
So if you're Corinth holders, you just got to take this one and move on to your next game and just be prepared. But before we get ready to go more in depth with this game, we got an interview from Coach Scott Chadwick, the winning coach for the Clayton Comets. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind primetime game of the week featuring the Clayton Comets and the Corinth Holder Pirates. Tonight I have with me the winning coach for Clayton, Coach Chadwick. Congratulations on the win. How were you able this week to be able to get Clayton to come in and just play smart, sound mouth football against a good Corinth Holders team at home?
Well, you know, a lot of respect for what they've done. You know, Coach, for what he's been able to do, you know, getting there a week, 2 weeks before the season started almost, to come in here and turn the program around. They certainly had our attention, and you know, we practiced very well all week. The guys knew that this was a good football team coming in, and you know, we kind of wanted to make a statement that, hey, you know, we're a pretty good football team too, and you know, our defense has played great all year long, and kind of took it up another notch tonight.
And talking about defense, Coach, you said it right. They took it up another notch. They were just able to come in and keep Corinth holders grounded and not open up those lanes for the receivers or the running backs. So how was your defense able to get in there and just kind of keep everything contained?
Well, I thought it was probably our pass rush. You know, our pass rush up front, you know, gave them fits. And, you know, we got a pretty good group back there in the secondary, too. You know, seniors and young guys that are, you know, Division I guys. So we got a pretty good group back there, too. So, you know, they took it as a challenge. You know, the kid had completed 60-some% of his passes going into the game. You know, almost 2,000 yards. So, yeah, we took it as a challenge, and I thought they definitely rose to it.
Coach, you're undefeated senior night next week. Willow Springs, the Storm, right back here in the home of the College. Anything you want to say before preparing for that game next week?
Well, I hope our town has been great all year. Our community's been phenomenal. I hope we come out next week and support those seniors, give them a good send-off. They deserve it. They've done a lot for this program and a lot for this town. So hopefully, you know, we can send them off the right way next week.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for being on the Grit and Grind. Now back to the studio. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind. They just heard from Coach Chadwick, Daryl. Now, we did talk with another coach, also the coach who came out not on the winning end of the stick for this game, which was Coach Smith for Corinth Holders. So let's go hear what Coach Smith had to say about this game and preparing his team for next week. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind right here. We got with us Coach Smith. Tough loss night, Coach Smith, but the boys played the entire game, played hard. They're getting ready for next week. So as preparing for next week, what's some of the things you're going to work with them on this week?
Well, we're going to just get some rest and ice, you know, get some ice baths and some rest, clean up our technique, clean up some of the things that we did wrong today, and just stay focused on what we got to do.
And going forward into next week, you know, as far as how do your tone for practice this week coming up, as far as how you want to set that tone this week?
Yes, sir. I think that's a great question. But the biggest thing is just staying positive, making sure that those guys know, man, not to hang your hat. Every now and again, you fall down, man, but it's about how you pick yourself up and how you respond. So that's the biggest thing we're going to do. We're going to make sure that we respond well, make sure that we attack every day, and just keep getting better.
Well, Coach Smith, best of luck to you next week. On next week's game, we'll definitely be checking it out. Back to the studio for the Grit and Grind. Well, Deryl, if you are Clayton, you came out, as we stated earlier, played a good game.
Right.
Moving on to this next game coming up, you just want to stay focused against, the spring gets the Storm. But if you're Corinth holders, you just didn't have the night you thought you were going to have in Clayton. So if you're Corinth holders, what would you do, Deryl?
Just like Coach Smith said, you get yourself refocused.
Okay.
Work on your technique and do your job and get prepared for this game. Because they got a big-time game this week coming up with Bulldogs.
That's it, Southeast Raleigh.
And so if you're a Corinth holder, you want to be prepared and you want to be ready. And Coach Smith has got these guys ready. And I'm sure this week of practice was focused on that, being prepared, being focused, doing your job. And let's go out here and get a win this week.
So you got to put it out behind you.
Definitely got to put it behind you.
We're getting ready to go to commercial break, and we'll be back after commercial break to find out who was this week's Grit and Grind Players of the Week. You're watching Grit and Grind on Studio 67.
The Information Technology Cybersecurity concentration at Nash Community College teaches students computer networks, information policy, and how to protect cloud and storage data. Cybersecurity students learn how to build and maintain firewalls and utilize data encryption programs. Students will also have the opportunity to gain real-world experience within their community with work-based learning opportunities. Information technology is a growing field, and once completed, students will have the knowledge and skills to start careers in the field working as cybersecurity analysts, information security analysts, and network system administrators. The cybersecurity concentration can be taken at 100% online for a degree or certificate. For more information about the cybersecurity program, visit nashcc.edu or call 252-443-4011.
It is time to find out everybody's favorite question on the Grit and Grind. It's time to find out who was this week Grit and Grind Player of the Week. So without further ado, Deryl, who was this week Grit Player of the Week?
Shawn, my Grit Player of the Week is we're going to Wake County this week. A couple weeks we've been all over Nash County, Franklin County. We're going back to Wake County. And this week we're going to Roseville Rams. And it's number 3, Xavier Lewis. He is the defensive end. He's the tight end. He's the running back. He's that football player that just doesn't want to get off the field. He's physical. He's smart. He's fast. Right now, he's got over 50 tackles. He's got 10 tackles for loss. And he's just that player that if you're a coach, you want him on your team because you could put him at any position and he's going to perform for you. So, again, this week's Grit player coming out of Roseville Rams is Xavier Lewis. Shawn, who's that grind player of the week?
This week, grind player comes out of 2 players this week. Both of them come out of 2 different schools. The first one comes out no other than the home of the Warriors up there in Oxford, North Carolina, J.F. Webb. Had to give it to the sophomore quarterback, Josiah Daniels, who broke the rushing record for J.F. Webb with 265 yards in a game. A record that's been intact up there at J.F. Webb since 2018. So he pretty much this whole game ran all over the field against Cabero and had his way, and now has put his name in history as one of the elite warriors of JFL by now being one of the record breakers of holding the most rush yards in a football game. Our next grind player, had to do 2 this week, because both of these guys, young men, just had outstanding games, is no other than the Jacksonville Cardinal senior running back, UNC commit, DeMar June, who rushed for 407 yards off of 23 carries. And listen to this, Deryl, 6 touchdowns. Ooh. If you're UNC right now, you know what you're saying. We got ourselves a football player. We got a running back because we got somebody who can see the tunnel vision, as you see on this play, get in open space and make people miss to score touchdowns. And he's just all over the field. And this is something he's been doing it for Jacksonville all season long for the past 2-3 seasons. And if you're Jacksonville, you stand a good chance now of having a deep playoff run with a big threat as the UNC commit DeMar June on your team as running back. So congratulations to both Grit and Grind Players of the Week this week right here on the Grit and Grind. We're getting ready to hop over to a commercial break, and we'll be back right here on Studio 67 for the Grit and Grind Marquee Games of the Week. You're watching the Grit and Grind on Studio 67.
You're watching the Grit and Grind on Studio 67.
Nash Community College offers an Associates in Arts degree as a cost-effective option for students looking to transfer to a four-year college or university. This program requires a minimum of 60 credit hours, and students must maintain an overall GPA of a 2.0 while maintaining a C or better in each course to achieve junior status upon transfer. The curriculum includes general education courses in mathematics, science, English, and communications, ensuring a solid foundation for future academic or employment pursuits. Students benefit from one-on-one time with instructors, as well as a wide variety of wraparound services like subject-specific in-person and online tutoring and the Student Wellness Center. For more information about the Associates in Arts degree or the college transfer process, go to nashcc.edu or call 252-451-8367.
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind, Deryl. We had a lot of great football last week, but now that's history. It's behind us. Because we got another good week right here of great football in the ENC area, Deryl. So without further ado, let's jump into the Grit and Grind Marquee Games of the Week. The 6-2 Warriors of Eastern Wayne. Team we've been talking about on the show with our picks.
About them,
Been making a lot of noise that 2A division with Southwest and Edgecombe and all these other schools going on the road up to, we still call that Kinley. I don't know, Kinley, Micro, wherever you want to geographically graph it at. I call it Kinley. Some people say Micro. Going up the road to play the 6-2 Panthers of North Johnston. Tough game.
Tough game. And you're on the bus this week.
I'm on the bus
you
this
on
week.
That
I'm
bus.
coming out of the Eastern Wayne is on the back end of Goldsboro. I've been there, so I know exactly. But I was there last night. I'm over there by Eastern Wayne. It's on the back end of Goldsboro. So they got a long bus ride. Coming down 795 to get to North Johnson, all for 301.95. Tough game if you're Eastern Wayne, but this is what you got to look at. They only had 2 losses this season, as we stated. CBA Cop, that's their rival, 41-12. We've been talking about CBA Cop. Undefeated. Former Ground Player of the Week, Sidney Lancaster.
And playing some good football right now.
Good football, put up numbers. Then they lost in week 3 against my favorite Cougar. I picked them to lose because I knew you got to go to Cougar Town, USA. Hard to get a win down there in the Southwest
Hard
Edge
to get a win down there.
But if you're this team right here, Eastern Wayne, you're on a 5-game win streak. That's something good. You got a good win over Green Central, Washington County, Princeton, and you beat another good team in this conference. And you're tied with North Johnston for first place in this 2A conference. So you're sitting in the right place. You got a quarterback that's a junior. It's 985 yards throwing, Deryl. You got 5 running backs, Deryl. You got Hurst, 301, Oates, 230, Battle, 174. You got Wisnut, 155. You got Jamie Corrigan, 101. 6 senior running backs, and these are just the ones with the most most yards. They got 2 more. 6 senior running backs this offense. Receiving, you got Thomas, 276. You got Dunn, 204. Evans, 139. Smith Jr., 118. Then they got a defense, Deryl. Corrigan, we just talked about him at the running back. They take him off the field and reserve him to play defense. 52 solo tackles. Not 52 total tackles, 52 solo tackles. That means
that's
I got to borrow your sentence, Deryl. He's a grip looker.
That's what I'm saying.
He gonna look contact.
He's looking for contact, and he's taking care of business.
Take care of business. Oates 43, Harris 38. It's a good team. Now I got some keys to victory, but I'll wait till you break down this. Break down the road.
North Johnston Panthers, like you said, they coming in this game 6-2, 3-0 in the conference. Best start for them since 2010 when they went 9-3, 4-2 in the conference. And in that season, they lost to East Bladen 47-40 in the, I want to say it was the 3rd, maybe the 4th round of the playoffs.
That's good football.
They had players back then like Boone, Lancey at quarterback, Austin running back, Sanders, Daniels, 2 of their wide receivers. But this year's squad is good for them as well. I mean, starting with that quarterback, Caleb Pond, 1,100 yards passing.
Man.
Got 1,100 yards passing and another 1,000 yards rushing.
That's scary.
He's got 12 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns rushing. So Caleb has been doing the thing for them as far as being that player on offense for them. Then you look at that wide receiver with Watson, Teachy. Those guys combined for 600 yards receiving.
That's scary.
Only 2 losses they got this year is Rosewood, who's a team we've been talking about all season, and Midway.
Midway Cowboys.
Midway Cowboys. So defense-wise, you got Scott, Barnes, Johnston, Willard. Those guys have been playing some good defense for them. And so North Johnson, this is a good game for them to take that to that next step. To be a possible win the conference.
That's what they want to do.
But we got to pick on this.
Well, I got some keys to victory if you're Eastern Wayne coming on the road, Daryl.
Yeah.
Control the clock.
Yeah.
You're in their house. You got to control the clock.
Yeah, definitely.
Stick with what you know, what you do best. You establish the running game. Stick with that. If you establish the running game, it opens up the passing game. And the last 4 games, the only 2 teams that have scored on you was Princeton and Bentonville. Just continue to play lockdown defense.
That's it.
I got to pick.
I'm
gonna save it.
Yeah, definitely going to save this pick because definitely got to pick on this one. All right, Shawn, our next game
will be the 8-0 Cleveland Rams versus the 6-2 Garner Trojans. Garner hosts this game. Cleveland coming in as the road team. Very big 4A football game up there in Garner, North Carolina. I'm on the bus again,
You
Daryl.
on that bus.
Before I even break down Cleveland, I just want to say one thing.
What's that?
If you are the Cleveland Rams, turn up your TV, smartphone, smart device, tablet, laptop, desktop, however you watch the Grit and Grind. Turn up right now and listen to this one sentence. Do not look ahead. We can look ahead.
We talk about that all the time. We can look ahead.
But you can't look ahead.
No.
Because you cannot start looking at the C-O-M-E-T-S, the Comets of Clayton, because that's what you got next week. Do not look at that. Matter of fact, if you play for Cleveland, you know what you do to your schedule right now in your locker? You just scratch that game out and say, this is the last game I see.
Yeah,
we ain't playing football after this.
You don't need to look ahead.
Because
Just
this is
focus
a
on that night.
team. And you're going to their house, Daryl. And what do we always say? It could be a trap game.
Hey, it's a possibility.
Possibility. But Cleveland has played great football. The closest game they had was against Hogarth, week 1, 35-32. They won that game. Avenged that loss in the 4th round of the playoffs last year. And they have just steamrolled over everybody this season, Daryl. And they beat good teams. Heritage, Corinth Holders, Willow Springs, Fuquay Verena, South Garner, Southeast Ride, the Bulldogs.
Beat the Bulldogs.
They're ranked number 16 in the state and ranked number 11 in 4A ranking. Team is led by Jackson Bird, Daryl. 2,236 yards throwing. How many touchdowns? 24 touchdowns on the season. He's ranked number 3 in the state as the 3rd best quarterback in the state behind the former Grind Player of the Week, Jalen Hewitt out of Havelock, and Travoris Jones out of Northeastern, who's been a run-up for Grind Player of the Week several weeks. Then you look at his running back core. They got a sophomore Farrell, 621 yards, 7 TDs. They got a senior, Jackson Bird, 504 yards, 504 yards, 10 TDs. Then they got a junior, Christian Gully, 135 yards. Receiving, they got 4 receivers there, over 400 yards.
They're playing.
You see why he got 2,236 yards throwing? He got over 400. You got Clark, Ruffin Jr., Thomas, and Crooms. Defense, they got Low, 107 tackles. And guess what? All 107 tackles, just like my guy from Eastern Wayne. Solo tackles. Look, contact.
I tell you.
This is a good team, and I can say this, Darryl, before we jump over to you. I see why they're 8-0.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see why they're 8-0, and Garner's got a big challenge coming to them because they come in this game 6-2, 4-1 in the conference. Only 2 losses in Millbrook. They lost to Millbrook 31-6, and then they lost to Clayton 38-14. Other than that, they have taken care of business in the last 3 games. They beat Willow Springs, Southeast Raleigh, and Fuquay. And each game they have gotten better. And even that Southeast Raleigh, which was a tough game for them. I think that game was 19-14. It was a tough game for Garner, but they was able to come out with a win.
Old school football. That's what I like.
Oh, and the last time Garner has won this game against Cleveland was in 2016, and they won 56-19. And that's when Garner had a great team. They went 12-2, 7-0 in the conference. But again, it starts with their quarterback play with Christian. Against Fuqua, he had 198 yards passing, another 39 yards rushing. Then you got Grant. He's rushed for 782 yards. This team has playmakers, but also on that defensive side of the ball, you got Richardson, Taylor, Thomas, Herbert. Those guys have just been playing good football the last 3 games for Garner to get them to this point. This is going to be a big challenge for Garner because you're playing a good Cleveland team. And if you're Garner, you got to work on special teams. Just make sure special teams is important. Southeast Raleigh played Cleveland last week, and they had some issues on special teams, and Cleveland was able to take advantage of it. So if you're Garner, you want to make sure your special teams this week has been practicing and working on everything that you need to do as far as technique-wise. Then, good defense. Put pressure on Jackson. Don't let him sit back in the pocket all game. Bring some heat up front.
He'll pick you apart.
I tell you, if you let him sit back there all day, he's going to pick you apart.
He'll throw it.
And you're going to have someone just designated for him if he starts to run.
Got to have a spy.
You got to have a spy. And then just play good football. Play good football if you're Garner. Penalty-free, cut down on penalties, and give yourself a chance because that's what you want to have late in that fourth quarter to where the score is pretty close to where you can give yourself a chance to come out with a win.
If I'm Cleveland going to this game, Daryl, and I'm on the road, first thing I want to do is I'm going to tell my defense, if I'm coaching, don't have no letdowns.
That's it.
No letdowns this entire game. We got playmakers on offense. Continue getting the ball to our playmakers. And then the third thing I'm going to say is going to go back to the first thing I said. Do not look ahead to the Clayton Comets.
Right.
Focus on this Garner team because they know that right now with you being undefeated and Clayton being undefeated, that both teams are looking towards the last game of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
So what they're thinking is, guess what? If we can play spoiler and put a loss on you first, that's a resume built for the playoffs.
That's it.
This is going to be a great game right here, Daryl. I can't wait to see this game on Friday night. We'll just be checking that out. But we're getting ready to go for a commercial break, and we'll be right back on the Grit and Grind for our primetime
game
of the week, right here on the Grit and Grind. You're watching the Grit and Grind live on Studio 67 NCC. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind, Daryl. As you can see, the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship is at Studio 67.
It's here. It is here.
These last 2 games are pretty much games that set up to see who will be the champion for the Grit and Grind. We got 3 teams still in it. Southern Nash, Northern Nash, who are playing this week, and also Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain is still in
who could be playing next week for us.
Yeah, and last year Southern Nash was able to take the trophy from Northern Nash last year. I just want to throw that back out there.
He didn't want to say that.
We still had this, it ain't official yet. It still belongs to us right now. It's not official.
You see how the Five Bird alumni, Five Bird student over here that produced the show, they knew how to go get that trophy to get here today.
That's right. It's still official at Southern Nash.
It's
so
still
I'm
there.
just letting it be known. But Southern has a tough game playing your arch rival across the town.
7-1 Southern coming in to play 8-0 Northern Nash in Death Valley. Old rivalry renewed between both of these schools. Tough game, hard game for both teams.
Both teams, like you said, Southern coming in 7-1. A tough loss last week against Rocky Mount. And if you're Southern Nash, you just want to bounce back from that because that was a lot of emotion out there.
It was.
In that game. And you want to get refocused. Because there's still a lot of football left to play if you're Southern Nash. And you can't just let one game bring you down. And, again, you got to go back to your playmakers for Southern Nash, which is Mitchell, Luke Faulkner, Richardson, and Whitaker on defense.
Right.
Those guys got to step up, be that leader on the team, and get these guys ready because you got a Northern Nash team that is waiting.
8-0.
8-0, and they want this trophy back in their case.
Hey, they were the inaugural. A lot of people forget they were the inaugural champs.
Yeah, they was the inaugural champs in this. And again, I'm going back with Southern Nash. Is focus in all 4 quarters. Stay focused. All 4 quarters, not the first and the second. All 4 quarters.
That's key.
And be ready to play. And cut down on the penalties and be ready to play on defense.
We're in week 10.
Yeah, we're in week 10 now.
Penalties should.
Yeah, we got to cut down on that. And, you want to be able to manage the game. Manage the game. Get yourself in positions to make plays. And when it's time to make a play, make that play. That's my keys right there. But be ready to play come Friday night if you're Southern Nash. Because Northern Nash is going to be ready.
They come to Death Valley.
Yeah, I know.
Home of the Knights.
And I'm going to say it. I'm not going to be able to make the game. I'm not going to be here tomorrow night. But I did put it out there a couple weeks ago. If Northern Nash does win this game,
what will happen?
Next week, I'll be wearing that green and, green and gold, green and yellow?
Yeah, Coach Ferris, we got one on the set. But Coach Ferris going to send me a new one. We already got it worked it out. Coach Ferris, tell Coach Ferris, make that happen.
So I need my Firebirds to show up.
8-0 Northern Nash hosts this game at home. This game can either be for a chance for Northern and Rocky Mount to play to be the outright champ this season, or if Southern's able to steal this one, where it could be a possibility where there could be a 3-way share if things go different in the Northern Rocky Mountain game. But we'll break all that down next week. But of course, if you're Northern Nash, you just want to come in this game and play Northern Nash night football. And that's what you've been doing for the past 8 games. 8-0, 4-0 in the conference. This team has not missed a beat since the close game at J.H. Rose. They got better to me. I told a lot of people, they got better after the J.H. Rose game.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Since the Rose game, Deryl, they went 42-36. Then they beat D.H. Conley at home 55-17. Then they went on the bye. And one thing about Northern Nash after that Conley game when they go on the bye, they just come back refreshed, better, more intact. Northern has scored 233 points to their opponent 29 after coming off the bye week. And they play good teams.
Yeah.
You beat Bun in Wildcat Stadium.
Yeah.
Yes, Bun is rebuilding under our good friend Coach Andre. They're changing things down there.
Right.
But we always say, that's a tough place to play here.
It's tough.
We've been to plenty times to Wildcat Stadium.
Yeah.
Then they went on the road and they played the hottest 2A team in the Big East, Roanoke Rapids. And they beat them. They put up 70 points on them.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's
and they
big.
were,
That's
5-1 going into that game.
Going into that game.
Hottest team in 2A. Then they went to the Dog Pound. Another tough place to play in.
And took care of business.
Took care of business.
Yeah.
I mean, won 49-9. And now they're standing here, beat Frankfurt last week, 58-7. Now they're standing here getting ready to play their rival at home. A team that they lost in the season to,
last
but
season.
beat them week 2 back at Southern in the playoffs. But this is a good team all the way around, Daryl. Starts with the former Grind Player of the Week, the inaugural Grind Player of the Week this season. Beat Ryan Strickland.
Yeah.
We saw what he can do in that Nash Central game. Then you got Eatman over there. Miles Eatman coming in on those third downs, keeping the chains moving. Then you got the quarterback, the former Grind Player of the game, Tristan Sigurds, who's playing quarterback, having a great season. They're playing good football. Then we got to give a shout out to number 5, Jaquavius Moody, who video on our Grit and Grind Instagram I checked this morning has over 44,551 views and 4,000 likes. Hey, Moody, thanks for making us go viral. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
But this team, Hey, Moody maybe end up being the Grind Player of the Year for that. But this team has just played great football. The defense, you got Stat that leads the team with interceptions. You got Adams, who has 3. They got Griffin. It's just a good team. And it's a Northern Nash team that when I look at them this season past the past 2 seasons, the year they made the state championship. Last year they made was to the Eastern Regional Championship game. I look at this Northern Nash team, and when I say this, I look at it like this, Daryl.
Yeah.
There's no big I's, no big T's on this team.
It's just a team.
In the famous words, Dusty Rose is just a comedy man
That's
team
it. That's
that want to play football.
That just want to play, and they are playing some good football.
And they got some good stars on this team that are great prospects. But to me, this team is just a well-balanced, common team that just shows up every Friday night and come to play football.
That's it.
I got some keys to victory for this game if you know Nash hosted, Daryl. First one, you at home. So don't feel like you got to get in a scoring fest with Southern Nash.
Right.
You're at home. Your crowd is here. Number 2, just protect the ball. No fumbles, no penalties. Play mistake-free football. And then the biggest thing for Northern Dash I want to remember going into this game, Daryl, is don't get in a scoring contest with Southern Dash.
That's it.
You can't.
You don't want to do that.
That's not good to get a scoring contest with them. And if you're Northern Dash, you just got to make that defense. Your defense got to hold their offense to 2 3-and-outs. And when you do that, scoring those two possessions, you're up by 14 points.
That's it. But
tough game.
That's what I'm going to say. It's going to be a tough game.
He look worried over here, y'all.
It's going to be a tough game.
Mr. Firebird Man.
I'm going to just say it's going to be a tough game. But if we can come in there focused, we got a good chance.
You got a good chance.
Got a good chance.
We get ready to jump into a commercial break, and we'll be back right here on the Grit and Grind Prime Show for our quick picks of the game.
Nash Community College offers welding technology as a degree, diploma, or certificate. In this 5-semester program, students learn how to draw and read blueprints, the welding process, and welding safety. Students develop and master their skills in the classroom environments and real-world situations in NCC welding shops. With this degree or certificate, students can work as welders in a variety of fields such as construction, fabrication, and industrial maintenance. Most NCC graduates start out as entry-level technicians or welding apprentices working within the community. For more information on welding at Nash Community College, visit nashcc.edu or call 252-451-8270.
Back to the Grit and Grind.
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind. It's that time, Daryl, for the quick picks. Before we jump to the quick picks, gotta give a shout out.
Shout out to the Clayton cheerleaders and the cornhole cheerleaders.
Yes.
All right, bringing us back.
Bringing us back. Well, it is that time for the Grit and Grind quick picks right here on the Grit and Grind. Daryl, 2 teams, both 2A teams, got buys this week.
But
before we get that,
we got to look at
last week.
It looks like I'm coming back.
Oh, I was tired.
13 to
down
7.
one. I'm down 1.
That's
12,
right.
8, down
That's
1.
right. Coming in strong, 2 weeks to go.
1. Ooh, I had to go back.
No.
With that bad pick. I would have been with leading.
No.
I let you convince me to change my pick
No,
on there.
that's it.
You see that? The first time I changed my pick on there is the week I lost. Won't be changing no more lie.
All right.
Well, Daryl, 2 our teams right here, 2 our 2A teams do have buys this week. Lewisburg, the Warriors, got a buy, and Nashville got a buy. Both teams need a buy at the perfect time because they can rest as they make a push to the playoffs. Our first game, once again, thank you, Vance County, for the helmet.
Yep.
6-1 Vipers versus the 3-5 Jaguars of Cabarro. Cabarro coming off a very, very tough loss against JFL.
Yeah.
Vance County is playing good football.
They playing good football. I was up there yesterday, and the guys look good as far as in practicing and stuff. So they focus. The coach is focused. Everybody's ready. So I'm going Vance County in this game.
Shout out to my cousin over there, coach at Vance County, Coach April. I'm going Vance County. 2-6 Bird T versus 2-6 Washington County.
I'm going Washington County.
This ain't my Washington County I like, so
This
I'm
ain't-
going to go with Bird T.
You going Bird T?
This ain't
Okay.
my Washington County yet. 3-5 Hereford County Bears versus the 1-7 Manteo.
Let's see. 3-5. I'm going Hereford Bears.
I got to stick with Hereford County.
Yeah.
I think OG's going to try to get them to win 2 more games to get to 5-5, and then you start looking at, can we be a road team in the playoffs?
Yeah.
1-7 Clinton Dark Horses versus 6-2 St. Paul.
I'm going to have to go with St. Paul in this one.
I got to go with St. Paul on this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, horses.
Yeah.
5-3 Rosewood Eagles versus 7-0 North Duplin. Ooh, big game.
Ooh,
right
that is a big game. I'm
big
going
rivalry.
Rosewood.
I'm gonna go with North Duplin.
You going North
to
Duplin?
keep rolling. I'm going something.
Okay.
I don't think it's Rosewood. So if I lose last week, this is gonna be the pick.
Yeah, this gonna be the one.
0-8 Goldsboro Cougars versus 1-7 Spring Creek Gators.
Going with the Gators. Spring Creek.
I'm sticking with the Gators.
You going to the Gators too?
The 2 times I picked the Gators.
Yeah.
The first time they won. I'm gonna pick them again this time.
All
they
right,
gonna
because
win.
I need them to win. Because I need to keep that 1 point. I need y'all to win. Gators.
1-7 Triple S Smithfield Selma. Say that 3 times fast. Spartans versus the 8-0 CBA Cox Air Raid offense.
CBA Cox playing some good football. They've been just last couple weeks. They've really been showing out. I'm going CBA Cox.
Hey, God, crank up the Air Raid offense.
Yeah.
Air Raid offense all over Smithfield Selma. 8-0 Clayton versus Willow Springs.
We saw Clayton up front last week.
We saw them up front versus
And
2-6 Willow Springs.
Yeah. And that defense is the real deal. And they got a good quarterback as well.
Real good quarterback.
Yeah. So I'm going Clayton on this.
I can't go with the Storm Willow Springs. Give me the Clayton Comets. C-O-M-E-T-S. The Clayton fans told me, for everybody watching, all the Clayton alumni told me whenever I talk about Clayton, I got to spell out
You got to spell the comments out.
I got to spell out comments, so get used to it. We're going to be doing it. It's going to be a long ride. But they said I got to spell it. I can't say comments.
Can't say
That's
it.
the punishment I got.
That's it.
Our next game, Deryl, 6 will be 5-3 South Johnston versus 3-5 East Wake Knights. South Johnston playing good football down there for us.
Yeah, but I'm going to go East Wake.
East Wake playing
East
good
Wake
football.
won last week. They had a
beat
good
up.
win. Yeah. I'm going East
It was
Wake
either
on
one
this.
fight they beat.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Trojan South Johnston. I'm sticking with 4 of them. Our next game, Deryl, 6-2 Eagles of Warren County versus the 1-7 Vikings of Northwest Halifax. Bounce back game for Warren
Bounce
County.
back game, yeah. Warren County.
Gotta go Warren County.
Yeah.
Bounce back game.
Yeah. Going Warren County on this.
Our next game, Deryl, right here in the Big East, 2A Big East football. 1-7 Wildcats of Bun versus 5-3 Yellow Jackets of Roanoke Rapids.
I'm going Bun. I'm going to go Bun in this game.
Bun.
I'm going Bun.
Bun Wildcats.
Bun Wildcats. I'm going Bun. I think Bun has played some tough teams, and they've just been, it's their due. And they've been playing good ball at the same time. I'm going Bun on this game.
I got to go Roanoke Rapids. They need this win to get a playoff berth. I'm taking Roanoke Rapids for this win. If they get 6, they get a playoff berth. 2-7 Northampton Jaguars versus the 2-6 North Edgecombe Warriors. Good game right here. North Edgecombe, come to see you next week.
I'm going North Edgecombe.
It's very rarely I pick against the Jaguars of Northampton. But I'm going to see North Edgecombe next week. And when I stop by to see them, I'm going to congratulate them on the win. Give me the Warriors of North Edgecombe. Our next game, Deryl, 4-4 Kemp Pride, your favorite school.
Kemp Pride.
Versus 5-2 Weldon, the Chargers of Weldon, still trying to find a way to get into that share of being a conference champ.
They trying.
If you got to find a way, what you got to do?
You got to win some games.
If you Kemp Pride and you're 4-4, you need to win out.
And Kemp Pride won last week.
They did.
So
you need to win out.
I'm back on the bandwagon.
Uh-oh.
I'm back on. I jumped off. I think I jumped off last week or week before last. And I jumped off, but I'm back on Kemp Pride.
Kemp Pride.
Kemp Pride. I'm going with Kemp Pride.
He is back, Kemp Pride.
I'm back, Kemp Pride.
I'm telling you.
I'm
People
back.
at Kemp Pride look forward to when we make this pick because they know Deryl gonna pick because Deryl told them from day one. I just like the name.
I just like the name. Kemp Pride.
Well, unfortunately, my friend, I like the name, but I can't go for it this week. Weldon Chargers trying to stay in this race of being a Roanoke share of the conference championship. 1-7 Knightdale Knights versus the 7-1 Millbrook.
Yeah, Millbrook, the only loss they had was against Roseville.
It was.
That's the only loss so far. I'm going Millbrook in this game.
I got to stick with Millbrook.
Yeah.
4A football at its finest. Sticking with 4A football. 6-2 Corinth Holders versus the 5-3 Southeast Raleigh. A Pirate versus a Bulldog.
Yeah.
And I believe this is at Southeast Raleigh.
Yeah, I think it's at Southeast Raleigh. And this is going to be a tough game.
For both teams.
Because Southeast Raleigh played Cleveland last week, and the score was back and forth, back and forth. Southeast Raleigh made just a couple mistakes, some big plays down on the field for Cleveland, but it was still a close game. They were still in it.
They were.
Oh man, this is gonna be hard, but I'm gonna go Southeast Raleigh. I'm going to Bulldogs in this. I think the Bulldogs gonna win this game.
Final answer.
Final answer, playing at home. They played a tough team last week. They get that behind them. They are a good team.
They are.
Bulldogs.
Because both of these teams are playing playoff season now.
Yeah, definitely playing playoff, but I'm going Southeast Raleigh in this.
I got to go with the Pirates of Corinth.
All right.
They bounce back from this Clayton loss and get a very close win over Southeast Raleigh to improve to 7-2. As they continue to make that push for play. Both of these teams are playoff bound, but now they're playing for seeding in the playoffs.
Definitely.
Our next game, Deryl, will be 4-4 Wake Forest versus the undefeated 8-0 Rams of Roseville.
Yeah. The Rams playing some good ball.
Back in the days, this was a barn burner.
Yeah, because they played Nightdale last week. The Rams,
did.
And took really, yeah.
They said first half was very tough.
Yeah, it was tough. I'm going Roseville.
No need for me to talk deep about it. Sorry, Coach Reggie, I got to go Roseville.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Our next game, 8-0 Wilson Prep, who have separated themselves in that 1A. 8-1 Wilson Prep.
Yeah.
Who have separated themselves in that 1A Toronto Conference versus the 0-8 Rocky Mount Prep.
Wilson Prep.
Wilson Prep. Easy one. Sorry, Rocky Mount Prep. Our next game there, 1-7, the Saints of Southern Wayne.
Yep.
Versus the 4-4 Golden Demons of Fight. Fight was coming off that loss.
Yeah, that's going to be. I'm going to Fight, though. I'm going to Fight in this. I think Fight bounce back off of that loss and get ready. Because you got 2 good games left for the regular season.
You got Hunt.
Yeah.
And right now, both Fight and Hunt both are sitting at 4-4 right now. They need to get the win 6 to solidify them into the playoffs.
That's it.
I gotta go Fight in this one. I gotta go Fight. That's gonna be a tough game this week.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Whew.
And speaking of Hunt, the 4-4 Warriors of Hunt versus the 5-4 Cougars of West Johnston, but not my favorite Cougar.
I'm gonna go Hunt. It's just we keep talking about Hunt that this is that time of the year, and it is.
We keep saying this is that time where they lock in.
That's it.
And they start winning games to get that playoff push.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hunt on this.
I'm gonna go West Johnston. I think West Johnston stuns the Warriors.
Okay, West Johnston.
5-4 Green Central versus the 6-2 Farmville Central. The battle of the Centrals.
Yeah.
A Central team will win this game.
I'm going Green Central though.
I gotta go Farmville.
You going
Central.
Farmville Central?
I'm going Farmville Central.
All right.
1-6 Betterfield Bruins versus the 4-4 Princeton Bulldogs. Princeton now is playing for playoff push.
Yeah,
it starts with this game.
And they've been playing some good football
They
lately.
have.
And they're coming back around. I'm going Princeton. Yeah.
Win next week. Yeah, at 6, you get a berth.
You get in. So I'm going Princeton.
Sorry, Betterfield, I gotta go Princeton on this one. 7-1 Tarboro versus 6-2 Gates County. I guess what this game is at.
Where's it at?
In Valhalla.
Oh.
In the land of the champs. Where is it? What Tarboro is right here beside me. It's to the left of me. They gotta come, Gates County, the Redbirds, gotta come to Valhalla, gotta park on that side of the field, and then guess they gotta do?
What is that?
See that side that says 8 state championships. Then they see the greats of the Todd Gurley, all the great heritage of the Tarboro program. They see all this heritage lineage. And you know what happens there?
What's that?
The intimidation factor, it kicks in right there. As soon as you walk on the stadium, we've seen it. It kicks in.
It kicks in. I'm going Gate County. I'm going Gate County for the upset. Let me put a check beside that one so I remember that. 6-2 Gate County for the upset. And all of that, what you just said.
And all that heritage.
All of that, what you just
all
said.
All that lineage.
All of that. Gate County. I'm
Final
going
answer.
Final. Let me double check.
Final
answer.
Oh, boy, he's serious. He said double check. Not so fast, my friend. You come to Valhalla, the land of champs, where champions are made when it comes to 1A football at its finest. Tarboro to run through Gates County. Give me my Vikings. Tarboro fans, highlight that portion of the show, please. And please remind them of that pick. Our next game, Daryl. My favorite Cougar.
All right.
4-4 Southwest Edgecombe versus Washington, the Pam Pack.
The Pam Pack.
They are back on the grit and grind.
All right, I'm going Southwest Edgecombe.
Gotta go with my favorite Cougar, Southwest Edgecombe. Who would I pick? Is it Cougar Town, USA?
Yep.
5-3 Rocky Mount versus 2-6 Ranger. Rocky Mount.
Hottest team in our conference.
Hottest team. Griffon is playing good football.
Hottest team in the conference.
Coach Battle gets the best out of his students and football players this time of the year.
Yeah,
we see it every season.
Every season. I'm going to go Rocky Mount on this stuff.
I got to go Rocky Mount.
Rocky Mount's playing
They're just
good
playing
football.
good football. Now there's time for the grit and grind. Franklin County Championship. A champion will be crowned in Granville County. JF Well, 1-7 versus the 2-5 Vikings of South Granville at the Warrior Stadium. That makes a difference for this game this year.
Yeah, because
last year was at the Viking Stadium.
I'm going JF Webb.
I'm going JF Webb to win the Franklin County Grit and Grind Championship.
I'm going JF Webb on this.
Now there's time for the marquee games of the week. 6-2 North Johnston Panthers hosting the 6-2 Eastern Wayne Warriors in North Johnston in that Kinley Micro backyard area. Been to that stadium plenty of times.
With North Johnston, their quarterback, I mean, he just jumps out. Certain players you see when you watch film, just jumps out at you. And he's one of those players. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball, and he's an accurate passer. I just think he's got a lot. North Johnston, I'm going North Johnston.
He's a Mr. Everything.
Yeah, I'm going North Johnston.
I look at this Warrior team, and I said earlier, 6 senior running backs. To me, that makes a difference because you're loaded in your backfield. I got to go with the Warriors of Eastern Wayne to win this game.
Okay.
Our next game, Daryl, 8-0 Cleveland. On the road versus 6-2 Garner. I already said what I had to say to Cleveland.
Yeah, you said it.
I don't have to say it no more. I said it twice.
You done said it. I'm going to go Cleveland. Got to stay focused. This is the only game that's important to you right now.
That's it.
Don't look
this
ahead.
can become a trap game.
Right. And you got a good Garner team, so you need to take care of business in that first quarter, set the tone.
That's the key.
And that's it right there. But I'm going Cleveland on this.
Don't look ahead, Cleveland Rams.
Yeah.
I'm going Cleveland.
Yeah.
Don't look ahead because this Garner team can light up a scoreboard.
That's it.
Now there's time for the grit and grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week right here on our backyard of Studio 67. The 7-1 Southern Nash Firebirds taking the 15-minute bus ride up to Death Valley to play the 8-0 Northern Nash Knights.
That's it. And hold on, which camera? This is my camera?
That's our camera.
Right here.
Yes, sir.
Look, Southern Nash, we got to take care of some business.
Time to play football.
It's time to play some serious football. You cannot go into Death Valley. And not be ready to play come Friday night. You got to show up, stay focused in all 4 quarters to get this win because the Knights are waiting. I'm going Southern Nash.
Going Southern Nash.
But we got to stay focused come Friday night.
That's the key word. We got to stay focused.
That's right, because I ain't trying to wear that jersey come next week. But that's my pick, Southern Nash.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Firebirds Southern Nash.
That's it, Southern Nash.
I need a little help.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
2 teams are playing. I don't have the other help right beside me. I'm acting like I got it. 2 teams are playing on Friday night. But only one can win.
Yeah.
Sorry, Firebirds.
He putting it back on. He
Give me
ain't done
the
it.
Knights of Northern Nash to win this game in Death Valley. The honorary Knight is back. Give me the Northern Nash Knights to win this game. Sorry, Southern, but this team, they're focused and locked in and playing some great football.
All right,
well,
Shawn.
Daryl, we'll be down there Friday night in Death Valley. Tell everybody how they can tune into the Grit and Grind on Friday night to see what's going on.
You can follow us on Instagram at Grit and Grind Podcast NC, where you'll see coaches' videos as far as interviews, players' interviews, highlights of the game, and just a bunch of other stuff that we post on our Instagram page. And where else can they watch us, Shawn?
They can also subscribe to Studio 67 NCC Instagram, where you can see stuff for the Grit and Grind and other material for Nash Community College and other school events right here on their Instagram. And also, don't forget to go to Studio 67. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so every time a video drops on Studio 67 NCC, you get an alert to go tune in either live or either when you have a chance to go back and watch it. And as always, there old rivalry renewed this week. Southern Nash, Northern Nash, big game.
Big time game.
Big game with Cleveland and Garner.
Yep, big time.
Game with North Johnston and Eastern Wayne. And without further ado, Deryl, I can't leave without saying, do you have the grit?
And do you have the grind?
And we'll see you Friday night in Death Valley and next week Thursday on Studio 67 NCC.